Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Carrie, and I think I heard somebody say book haul. I'm pretty sure one of my people told me they wanted another book haul because your girl, she went out and bought some books this month. I buy books whenever I'm stressed, and I kind of went crazy just a little bit. This may be the largest book haul I've ever done. In fact, it may be so large that I need to put this into 2 videos. Like, it's quite large. So I have a whole bunch of boxes, as you can tell. Not all of them are from actual book of the month, like the actual subscription boxes. A lot of the boxes you're gonna see are gonna be from like Facebook, where I did like a buy sell trade groups and stuff. I was just super stressed this month, and whenever I'm stressed, just buying books, looking at books, talking about books, thinking about books, like that's my happy place. And so I kind of went nuts and I had fun and I regret nothing. So enough like talking and jabbering on. Let's go ahead and start doing the unboxing, shall we? Okay, so I have randomly decided to talk about the books that are not in boxes first. So the first set of books are going to be my last month's book of the month subscription. I forgot to save the box, so we're gonna start there. The first book that I got from book of the month is going to be The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I am starting on this one already, and I'm enjoying it so far. This one is a thriller, and it is about a girl whose best friend dies on campus, and her aunt is a psychologist. I think he really likes psychologists because he's done it in both of his books now. But all I know about this book is that she goes to this college campus and is trying to find the killer, all of which, like, I guess her niece and a whole bunch of other people believe that it is this guy teacher who is the killer. That's really all I know about it. The next book that I got is You Are Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I know nothing about this book other than the fact that it's a thriller. Like, that's literally all I know. And the next book that I got from Book of the Month is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I've heard a ton about this book. I know that it's on an island, and it is, I think it's a wedding or something that people would kill to be on. It's like the who's who list. So, you know, I'm always down for a murder mystery kind of plot line. Moving on and talking about books that I bought off of Amazon, because this is probably the smallest list that I have to talk about. I purchased 3 books off of Amazon this month. The first being My Lovely Wife. I have heard amazing things about this book. It is a thriller, and I've heard amazing things about it. And it's in hardcover. I'm a little tiny bit disappointed because you know I'm a picky bitch, right? We all know that I'm a picky bitch. And this has like a tiny little tear at the bottom. I don't know if you see this, but it drives me nuts. But you would be proud of me because I said, no, we're just gonna deal with it. It is what it is. But it does kind of, you see that? Like that drives me nuts. But I didn't do anything about it. I'm just gonna leave it as is. It is what it is. Whatever. Okay, so other than that, the other 2 books that I bought on Amazon are my P. D'Angelica books. I love this bitch so much. She is awesome. So I got Carried Away, and then I got Baby Maker. I think Baby Maker may be a surprise pregnancy trope, which I love. I don't know. I'm a sucker for it. I know I'm weird. It is what it is. I love that kind of trope, so I'm super excited for both of these. I love this author so much. She's one of my top favorite romance authors. The next group of books that I want to talk about are books that I got from either Thrift Books or Goodwill. I only got one book from a thrift store this month, and that book is my first and only Stephen King novel, The Outsider. This book is in hardcover. It's in really, really good condition, and I got it for like $5 or less. So I mean, you can't really beat that. It's really cheaper than I could have got it anywhere else. This is a huge book, and I don't know if I will read this anytime soon, but I really do want to read a Stephen King novel soon. So, I mean, I'm branching out there, y'all. I am branching out to some new genres and some new books, and I am here for it. I'm excited about it, and I hope you are too. The next set of books I got are all books I got on Thrift Books. And once again, Thrift Books has been disappointing me a little bit. So the first book I got is Retrieval by Ali Martinez. So this one actually surprised me. It's supposed to be in good condition, and honestly, like, first of all, it came signed, so that's awesome. But it's really in like very good shape, almost like new shape. And like, I'm not mad at this at all. Like, this was supposed to be in good condition. Whereas this next book was supposed to be in like new condition, and it's not. It's definitely not in like new condition at all. It's got stuff on the front of it. Pages are messed up and crinkled. Corners are all bent in. I don't understand this at all. It's not signed compared to the one that's in good condition that is signed. Like, I don't know if they're like rating these books and like then just swapping them out and putting whatever they want to put on it or what, but like, this good condition book is twice as good condition as this really good condition book that's not in very good condition at all. I'm confused. But anyway, I got Ali Martinez's books because I have read almost all of her backlist. I love her. She's an amazing author. And then I picked up Christina Alger's Girls Like Us. I think this is a detective novel, which I'm not positive if I love detective books yet, but it's a beautiful cover. Like, it is just, you can't even, this book doesn't even do it justice. Like, looking at it on a screen just does not do it justice. It's metallic, and it's just like, it is a stunning, stunning cover to see in person. And I mean, it's not a super, super long book. Like, I really want to read this one soon. It sounds really interesting. I think our main girl is a detective. She's an FBI agent. And apparently her father's like a homicide detective, so and they haven't had much of a relationship, but she's like going in to work on one of his cases, so that sounds super interesting. Like, I'm hoping it's kind of like Criminal Minds or something. Like, I'd be down for that. Before I get into the next set of books that I'm gonna haul for you, I have a quick story time. So, I got my last Reveal book box. I decided to go ahead and cancel. Mainly, there's a couple of reasons why. First being that these books aren't cheap. Like, the subscription, I was getting 6 books a month, and I think I was paying something like $78, $75, between $75 and $80 a month. And so it was not a cheap subscription at all for me. I love the fact that it came in signed. I love the fact that it's indie authors. But what I don't love is that a lot of these authors are authors that I've never even heard of. I love indie authors. Don't get me wrong. I think it's awesome to support indie authors. But I want indie authors that I've at least heard of, that are, I mean, just a tiny bit more popular. I want to at least know, I mean, at least half of these authors I want to know and have heard of and care and I'm invested in. And I just noticed that I'm not reading as many of the Reveal Book Box books that I've been getting recently, and it just seems like it's a waste of money. So that's really the main reason why. Also, I started getting the box in a little later, and I mean, that wasn't like the end of the world for me because I wasn't reading the books anyway. I just got to the point where the price wasn't worth it. A lot of these books I can get on Kindle Unlimited. I wasn't obsessed with any of the books that I was getting. There was a couple. The Melanie Harlow book for sure was one of my favorites, but like that was 1 or 2 books out of like what, 8 or 9 months worth of books that I was getting that I recognize the authors, and like I want at least 3 of the 6 books to be authors that I recognize, like normal indie authors that we all talk about and love, and there just wasn't enough in there for me to justify that kind of price. So this is my last month, but I don't have the box, and so here comes my story time. I'm a gardener, right? So I'm out there gardening my yard and doing whatever I gotta do, and so I have the sprinkler on my yard, and the sprinkler goes all the way up to my porch, and it goes like through the entire porch. My mailman decides, instead of putting it out in front of the garage or like anywhere else, he runs through the rain, runs through my little sprinkler, puts it on my front porch that is soaking wet, does not ring the doorbell, and leaves. So 10 minutes later, I walk outside and happen to see my box soaking wet. So I immediately, of course, had to get the books out as fast as I could to save them. Thankfully, they weren't damaged, but I was just like, are you kidding me? So that happened, and that is the reason why these books are not in my beautiful little reveal box, and this is the last month, so that makes me really sad and really frustrated that I can't open the actual box for you guys, but it is what it is. Here are the books. I literally have not even looked at these yet. Like I kind of glanced at them. Once again, it's the same situation. I don't really know any of these authors for the most part. First one is going to be Control Us, and this is by J.M. Walker. All I know is that this is going to be a friends to lovers romance. That's really all I know about this one. I don't know who this author is. We'll find out if I like the book, but it is signed. The next book that I got is Arrogant Assassin by Alyssa Cole. This is another one of the Cocky Hero Club. This is based off of the Cocky Bastard world by Vi Keelan and Penelope Ward. There was a whole bunch of people that did this Cocky Bastard Club books, so this is in that world. Apparently he's an arrogant jerk, which matches the whole Cocky Bastard world as well. Apparently she spilled her drink on him, and it ends up turning into a romance somehow. The next book that I got is going to be Forevermore by Frankie Page. Once again, this is another author that I have never heard of, and of course it's signed by the author. This one's going to be a second chance romance. I would normally say, oh, I'm not into those, but recently I've been into those, so who knows, maybe I'll read this one, we'll see. The next book is going to be Right With Me. It says a With Me in Seattle universe novel. Apparently this isn't even the first book in the series. It's by Stacey Lewis, once again another author I've never heard of, and all I know is that this is a single mom romance, and that's really all I know about it. Once again, I've never heard of these authors. They look okay, but they don't look like great, so I'm glad I canceled the subscription, honestly. The next book that I got is by Nikki Ash. It's called The Pickup. I have actually read this one and I loved it. It is a surprise pregnancy romance. Like, that is the biggest part of this book, is it's all about being a surprise pregnancy. So if you're not into this, you won't like it, but it is a sports romance. It's very well written, and if you are into that, you're gonna love this book. The next book is going to be Any Luck at All by A.R. Castile and Denise Grover Swank. I've at least heard of Denise Grover Swank. So this one is based around a brewery. I guess it's like a family thing, and it's passed down to this girl whose, I guess, grandfather has recently died and left it to her and her sisters. But apparently her one hope in success lies with River Reeves, who's the handsome brewmaster who learned at her grandfather's feet. And apparently now she's avoiding trying to fall in love with him. So it sounds like it may be a little bit on the comedic side maybe. But it sounds interesting. This one looks like the best out of all of these, at least. Let's continue on with the theme of romance, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about some romance books that I purchased recently at Half Price Books. The first I want to talk about is going to be See Through Heart by Amy Knight. This book came in signed, and it is a bookworm box. But I have heard a lot of really great things about Amy. Look at this. That cover is stunning. So beautiful. I really am excited about having this one, and $7.50 is really good, especially for an indie author. Usually you're looking at least $15 for a brand new book. The next book that I got at Half Price Books is going to be Look the Part by Jewel E. Ann. I was really surprised that I found this. It is also signed, which made me ecstatic. And I love this book. Like, I recently read it for the second time. The first time I DNF'd because I hated the audiobook. Like, hated it. But this is a bit of a surprise pregnancy trope in it. It is just so good, though. It's about a single father. It has an autistic boy in it. It is just so well done. I really loved it. This is really cute, and a lot of people are talking about this one on Romance BookTube recently. The next book, and the most expensive book I have bought recently, is going to be Cocktails, the Cocky Collective. I've been looking for this book everywhere. I spent $40 on this thing. $40. But it is going for like $500 on eBay and Amazon, which is insane. You cannot find this anymore. It is not in print, and it is a book that I would really love to go and get signed by all of my Book Bonanza authors that are going to Book Bonanza next year. So I had to jump on it and get it while I could. The next book that I bought is Tattered by Daphne Perry. I have since read this book and loved it. I gave it 5 stars, I believe, 4.5 stars, something like that. It is about a girl who is basically dumped as a baby. Like, she's literally left as a little baby to fend for herself. She ends up in foster care and is like barely making it. She ends up meeting this guy. They have a one-night stand, and it's 8 years later now, and she is a single mother from, said one-night stand, and happens to be living in this small town. Baby daddy walks in, it's 8 years later, and finds out he is a father. It's one of those cases where they didn't really share their last names. It was literally just a one-night stand. So they really didn't know much about each other. So she could not find him. It wasn't like she was just trying to hide the kid or, something like that. It was an honest, like, she couldn't find him situation. I really loved it. I thought it was so well done. This is what I expected of Daphne Perry's writing. I read her first book in the Copper House, Farmhouse, Copper, whatever, that series, and hated it. Like, I was just like, I don't understand. I don't understand why people are obsessed with this author. Now I get it. I love this book. It was so, so well done. The next book that I got is The Bet by Rachel Van Dyken. This one is about a girl who is having a fake relationship with this boy, and she goes home with his family, and she ends up falling for his older brother, and then she's like, well, damn, why did I pretend to be in a fake relationship with this guy that I don't like, because here's this guy that I do like. Drama ensues. The next book that I have to talk about is going to be Pan by Gina L. Maxwell. I have not heard of this one, but it looks really good. It is signed by the author, as is Tattered as well. That one was signed by the author, which is great. So Pan is a retelling of Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, and it is like a second chance romance. So that sounds interesting. And the very last book that I got is going to be Kitty Takes a Holiday by Carrie Vaughn. Yes, this is not the first book in the series. I know this. It is a paranormal romance. I've heard a lot about this one, and I got it for $3. So, oh, I totally lied. That was not the last book. I went to Half Price Books yesterday and picked up another book at Half Price Books. Happened to be there, and that one is going to be Keeping You Away by Kennedy Fox. This one is also signed. I've heard a ton of really good things about Miss Kennedy Fox, and this one sounds really good because it is a romance between a guy and his sister's best friend, but it's also like a second chance romance between the two, and that just sounds really cute. This is part one. It is a duet, so, you know, unlucky me, I only found the first one and not both, but I'm still really excited to get this one. Okay, so since this video is starting to get long and I've mostly done romance, I'm going to go ahead and continue on with my theme of romance, and I'm going to haul my bookworm box. And then I think I'm going to end the video here. I won't lie, I've already opened it. In fact, I've already read the book, and then I put it back in here so you guys can see me open it because I'm so cool like that. Let's see here. All right. I'm so happy to be getting rid of all of these boxes, you guys. Like, they were all over my floor. I'm so excited that I can throw these away now finally. Okay. These little string things get everywhere. All right, the bookworm box for this month is going to be See Me After Class by Megan Quinn. So this is like, how do I put this? This is like high school class meets Big Bang Theory. So like if you like drama, like between teachers, like Friday Night Lights meets Big Bang Theory. Yes, that's it. It's Friday Night Lights meets Big Bang Theory. So if you like either of those, you're gonna like this book. Okay, you want a little more detail? Fine. So it is a romance between two teachers. Starts out as hate to love, and then it turns into pranks, which is quite funny. It has some really interesting side characters, and honestly, I started out going, I don't think I like this book. This book is like really quirky and really out there, and I almost DNF'd it because I'm on a DNF streak. But I'm really glad I stuck with this because I ended up loving this one. It takes a little while to get used to the characters. So there's a character who is very, very odd in this one. I think she could possibly be on the autism spectrum, possibly. She acts very, Sheldon's girlfriend, I haven't watched The Big Bang Theory in a while, but Sheldon, or Cooper, you know, that dude, his girlfriend, Amy, she kind of reminds me of Amy in a way. The way that she acts and talks and stuff. She's very Amy-esque in this novel. She's just a side character, but she's very, like, that. The side characters are very heavily focused on in this. It's about a group of friends, two different groups of friends, a guy group of friends, girl group of friends. They all kind of get along. Anyway, this is a really interesting book. I really enjoyed it. It has a lot of girl love, a lot of girl friendships in here. Nobody's mean to each other. I love that. And I just found this book to be really good. The main guy was quite a bit of an asshole, but I came around to him after a while. Overall, I really, really enjoyed this one. It's a good read. Okay, so that is the majority of my romance books. I did add a little bit of thrillers here and there, but it was mostly a romance book haul. So now I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, and I will be back very soon for video number 2 featuring a lot of thrillers and Book of the Month books.